Instead of chasing what you want, you need to start chasing the identity of the person that has what you want. Instead of achieving health, fitness, the hottest bod, you have to be the person that has health, fitness, wellness, and that hottest bod, or else you're going to lose it. And you've been in that cycle far too many times. What's up, team? Welcome back to the podcast. I am Caroline, sharing my lived experience, life experience, all the golden nuggets I've picked up along the way to help you become the absolute best version of yourself. And I see you. I know you want your health, the hottest bod, that limitless confidence just to come effortlessly. You are done trying so hard, being perfect about the macros, figuring out the perfect workouts, digging yourself into the ground with a discipline because you get burnt out, then you say F it, lose all progress, and are continually restarting over and questioning if it's ever out there for you. Guess what, my friend? Today we're breaking down the identity shift that has to happen very first, and then all of the pieces fall in line without you trying so hard. Because punishing and forcing yourself to do something to finally be free, healthy, the best version of yourself is like following a broken compass and wondering why you keep running in the exact same circle. You can't outwork a misaligned mindset and identity. So today we're going to activate that new mindset to truly become her. Hot, energized, and radiant. Nothing sounds better than being her, right? Well, let's break it down. Without going too deep into mindset, I first need to set the stage. And there is a three-part series earlier in this season, so you can soak up everything deep about mindset. I will link it in the show notes. So if you have extra questions about this, if you want to dive deeper, if you haven't listened to those episodes, go listen to my three-part series on your brain and your mind. But right now, I'm just going to set the stage. Okay, so we have a brain, which is the organ. Then you have your mind. It's like the energy that runs through your brain. I like to think about your brain as a highway system. So, like the concrete and road structures, and your mind are the cars that go along that highway, going on and off exits, taking different routes, taking detours, going from A to B. Your mind, the cars, AKA your thoughts, your beliefs, your inner dialogue, they run along the highway, the neural pathways that are in your brain. That is how, when there are three people in a room and the teacher walks up to the beginning to start class, all three of those people are going to interpret that man differently based upon their past experience. Maybe one of the students had a really negative experience with men in suits, so they already are on alert. Maybe one of the people in class, their dad is a teacher, so they love all teachers because they have a really positive relationship. Their circumstance is the same, but their experience is different based upon the highway, based upon their past experiences. So know that your neural pathways, your brain is the highway, your mind is the cars that go along that highway. The really cool thing is, if you consciously change where the cars are going, you can change that highway. So that girl that has an awesome positive experience with teachers because her dad is one, if she constantly looks at that teacher every day of class and starts picking him apart, thinking negative things, being really judgmental, thinking the worst of everything, seeing everything just from like a Debbie Downer spot, by the end of the semester, she will change her highway so that now she perceives that teacher in a negative light. If the student that has a negative perception of men in suits every day of class sits there and tries to see this person as positively as they can, points out everything they're doing right, is really grateful, they will change their highway system to then view teachers, this person, this experience in a positive light. All that to say is yes, your highway is pretty set right now. All of your experiences from birth up until now have created that highway system. And when you take conscious effort of the cars, the pathway that they get on the highway and off the highway, the detours they take, how they get from A to B, you can change the highway system. This is called neuroplasticity. You can literally change the neural pathways in your brain that change how you perceive yourself, the world, your thoughts, your inner dialogue, and that is what we are breaking down today. That is how you undergo a true identity shift. Wow, what is the point of all this? What am I getting at here? You cannot outwork a poor mindset. So no matter how hard you work, so say your highway system says, and this can be unconscious. Again, go back and listen to that 3-part series so you understand this better. You unconsciously think that you're fat, you're ugly, you can't do anything right, you suck, you're a loser, and you never do anything to the finish. You always cut short because that is what you were told growing up. If you go to the gym, you meal prep, you figure out the perfect macros, you might even hire a coach, you put a treadmill in your basement. No matter how hard you try to do those things, if that highway system is still based upon negativity, based upon you suck, you're fat, you're never going to be worth it, the mental energy needed to force those cars to go on a different route to get you to work out is going to exhaust you, which is why you've burned out in the past. You get the treadmill, you get the running shoes, you get the coach, and then you actively work on changing the highway. You don't have to try to get on that treadmill. You don't have to try to follow your meal plan. You don't have to try to be the healthiest person of yourself. It's just now how you act, which is why this identity shift is the game changer that you need. So the reason that you're exhausted, why you've tried, why you've maybe gotten there and then lost it is because your highway system, your perception, your brain, the neural pathways that make up your brain are not in alignment with where you want to go. So before you try harder, before you tell yourself you need more discipline, more willpower, let's shift the identity because then you don't have to try so hard. Because that mental energy, that ruminating, that going around in circles, following a broken compass is exhausting, and it is not how life has to be. The identity shift is key to creating change in your life. Because when you believe on all levels, conscious and unconscious, that you are healthy, that you are confident, that you are sexy, that you are strong, that you show up for yourself, that you have integrity, your behaviors automatically align with that identity. And then in no time, you lose the weight, you have better boundaries, you have healthier relationships, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you are freaking proud of yourself. So let's talk about the factors that we must take in addition to, yes, we still have to show up for ourselves, but that we have to do on a mindset level to cause a true identity shift. So how the heck do we change the highway, restructure the neural pathways, start seeing ourselves differently? Because those highways have been formed since you were little. From like birth to 7, let's say, is when those pathways become the strongest. So it's going to take conscious, continual effort. So no, this won't happen overnight. So commit to it starting right here, right now. And you already will be light years ahead. Because first, we have to uncover the old belief system. And I'm not saying you have to uncover it to fix it, to understand it. I just need you to acknowledge where you are right now. So what is something in your life that you've tried to do, tried to change, and it's never worked out? Maybe it is your health. Maybe it's your weight. Maybe it's how you see yourself. Maybe you keep getting in relationships that are actually pretty unhealthy for you. Maybe you go to the gym for a week and then you don't go to the gym. Maybe you have a job that you hate. Just what's one thing in your life right now that is not ideal? Perfect. That's all we have to understand about it. Something I see a lot in the self-help world is that people tell you that you have to like figure that out and understand why and heal your trauma, which is yes, we do need to heal our trauma, but this is part of it. This is the embodiment of becoming that next person. I can go way deeper into trauma and how that shows up, and I have in past episodes, but right now, let's put it into freaking action so you can get there. So you've uncovered an old belief that is holding you back. You don't need to know what it is exactly, just identify where it is. Bring it back up in your mind. And now I want you to decide what you want that relationship to look like, what you want that belief to be, what you want your job to feel like, what you want your body to feel like, to look like, how you want to think about yourself when you look in the mirror. Decide what that new belief, that new identity, and that new reality is going to be. Maybe it's as simple as I look in the mirror and I love my body. I wake up excited for the day. I have relationships that hold me to a high standard. I have relationships that when I set a boundary, they are respected. I have a job that lights me up. I have financial security that allows me to take the kids to Disneyland every year. What's that new thing that you want? And then what I need you to do, this is the huge embodiment that most people miss and they try to put off till later. Start acting like it's true. How would you show up if you loved your body? You're not proving to yourself that you love your body. You're showing up because you love your body. It's already true. Start aligning your behaviors with that belief because we can do all the thinking and all the do like figuring out, but it's not until you put it into practice that those highway systems change. So we uncover, we decide what we want, and then we act like it's already here. Does the healthiest version of you go to the gym every day? So instead of saying, I have to go to the gym today, say, I am healthy because I go to the gym every day. Bring it into the now. It doesn't need to be some far off thing that you're reaching towards. It's here, and we are here to maintain it. And then you align that inner dialogue. So, like I just said, I don't have to go to the gym today. I am healthy because I go to the gym every day. I am healthy because I go on a walk every single morning. I am excited because I love my job. Yes, it may not look like it on the outside, but we're shifting that internal dialogue. It might feel a little delusional, and that is 1000% okay because your brain and your body is hardwired to keep you in your familiar zone. And your familiar zone is not working, or else you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. We all have things that we're trying to shift, and we are hardwired to stay in our familiar zone. So if it feels delusional, good, because that's what's going to create something new. You align the inner dialogue with it already being here. Even if for like 5 minutes a day on the way to work and then 5 minutes on the way home, you just go delusional in your head. I love having a healthy body. I love having a healthy body. I'm so grateful for my healthy body. I feel so confident when I put on my dress for a date night. I hold boundaries and people respect it. I hold boundaries and people respect it. Make it true in your head. Reinforce those new highway systems. And then you're going to tap into the feeling and the experience of that new identity as much as possible. So while you're thinking about it, is it exciting? Does it light you up? Does it give you energy in your body? Does it turn you on? Does it like make you feel so enthusiastic? What does it feel like to believe it and have it? Close your eyes before you go to bed at night and just think about how awesome it's going to be to open your eyes and have that dream job. How good it feels when someone says, I honor your boundaries, or you say no and they say okay. To put on the clothes and not have to look in the mirror because you already know that you like this outfit and it doesn't matter what it looks like. It feels comfortable. How good does it feel to know that you went to the gym 3 times this week? How good does it feel to wake up energized because your hormones are in alignment, because you're following your nutrition plan? And then forgive yourself when you act out of alignment with it because this is new. Have you ever tried a new thing and already been perfect at it? I mean, maybe because you're probably pretty cool, but not everything, right? We mess up and that's how we learn. So then every time you act out of alignment, you don't go to the gym, you eat a Snickers bar, you drink wine at dinner instead of water because you're really trying to cut down on alcohol. You say, oh, I slipped back into an old identity. That was just a reminder that that's not who I am anymore. I'm so excited to wake up and not do it. I'm so excited to wake up and go to the gym today. I'm so excited to drink water at dinner because I love myself so much that I don't want to drink alcohol anymore because it doesn't make me feel good. Forgive yourself for slipping back into that old pattern because those highway systems are strong, right? You can't blame the car for going on the highway that is well paved, it's beautiful, the road is nice and smooth. Because that new highway system you're building, it's a little bumpy, it needs to be repaved, might be snowy sometimes. But the more you go on that new highway, the smoother, the faster it is. And then bam, look at that. A new identity is formed. Because to get to where you want to go, you don't need the thing. You need to become the person that has the thing, which starts with this massive identity shift. In the upcoming episodes, I'm going to talk more about like the energetic and nervous system work that is also needed for these huge expansions to take place. Because gosh dang it, if it was a magic pill, we'd all have it. But this is the real work that will give it to you for life. This isn't a quick fix. This isn't a set it and forget it type of thing. This isn't a in 10 days I'll finally be there and I don't have to worry about anything. No, you need to become the person that has that because then you don't have to think about it. That's when it becomes effortless. And that is the magic of this work. So make sure that you're subscribed, leave a review, and share this with your bestie so that you can hold yourself accountable to these new beliefs. Call up your bestie and be so freaking delusional until you believe it because that is the identity shift that is going to take you where you want to go. I hope you got so many golden nuggets for this. Come back for next week and have a stellar rest of your day because you are already becoming her just by listening to this episode. Hot, energized, and radiant. Go get it.